Then you'll take and clean out again. Try not to ever scrub the top because you'll take the oil off the nail and weaken the nail. And when you're doing manicures, the goal is to keep them healthy and strong. Then you'll take this handout, and for your cuticles, you want to push them back, but you don't want to force them and get them irritated, because then they'll start growing a lot more and they'll get hard and brittle, and you just don't want that. So you just want to barely bump them, and by you using the remover and the soaking, they should push what needs to be pushed up a little bit. So take your orange wood stick and get your piece of cotton, spread it out a little bit, and then just roll it. Get it tight, and then dip it in the water. And this right here gives you cushion to push up against the cuticle, and you just push. You need to put a little bit of force, but not too much, because you don't want to damage the matrix, which is right behind the cuticle. Like if you slam your door or slam a door on your finger or something, you get like the dips or the ridges. You don't want to do nothing with force on them. Okay, now these are the cuticle clippers. You need to be very, very aware and make sure that you do not cut what needs to be cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't cut the skin behind the cuticle, because you will bleed. And if you have a client that, just say she's got health problems like a diabetic or something like that, or taking some pills for her heart, which makes you bleed a lot. If you cut them, they're going to bleed, and then you're going to have to take time and find, what you need to throw away, because you don't want to have blood on your next client with the implements and the stuff that you use. So that's very, very, very important. So when you're cutting, you want to start from the right side and work your way, but you don't. Some people like to go in there and just like clip all in a stretch. You don't want to do that. You just want to take and get what needs to be. If there's a dry piece of skin on the nail bed, or just barely, barely, barely clipping the sides of, this side of the cuticle, because these are very, very sharp, and they will pinch, and you will bleed. As you can see, how much cuticle I did, I didn't get a lot, but I just got enough to get off, to make the nail bed clean. Almost gross, but anyway. Well, that's true. So you don't never want to put the implements back in here until at the end when she's out the door, and you can go and wash them and then put them in there. Because you don't want to put the cuticles in there and let it float around, and when your clients come in, they'll be like, oh, that's so clean. Alright, so after that's done, you'll take the exfoliating scrub. And get rid of all the dead skin off the nail. I'm out the hand.
Might be new, it might have to plastic thing.
Cecily,
What is it?
this stuff ain't coming out at all.
I know, I just think my arms would have come in sometimes.
What's going?
As you see, it's because of what?
Air gets stuck in it.
And then you see there's plenty in there.
Wait, what's that stuff called?
Exfoliating scrub. Okay, whoa. Okay, you're gonna take this hand and just rub it, scrub it. Do each finger, just rub it in. And take the saran wrap and wrap it real good.
You have to clean it. They don't want to go through it either.
S-A-R-A-N.
S-E-R-A-N?
S-A-R-A-N. And then take a hot mitt and put that hand in here. A hot mitt, a warmer, a glove,
Kinda like a heating pad.
yeah. Is that too hot? Ma'am? Yes. I do this for the manicures, and then I have, one for my pedicures. Big old thing you just put your feet in there. I charge $15 for this. I charge, $45 for my pedicures. So.
Can you tell Christian that boys do get
I have more,
manicure? They don't hurt?
I mean, I have a lot of women, but I have a lot of male clients.
Yeah, I know, one of my buddies, he gets his stuff cleaned up, but,
Oh, I was just laughing. Okay, but where does he go?
I just know he just get his stuff cleaned up, looking fresh.
So have you not got yours done?
Yeah, so that it didn't hurt.
No. No.
Depends on who you get it.
Yeah, it depends on who's doing it first, but
Nail polish ever hurt?
no.
Dude.
I think like I do this on a daily basis.
No, anything that you do, like your manicures, your pedicures, even your nails as far as that goes, and your hair, everything should be relaxing. You should not inflict no pain on your clients whatsoever, because this is, I mean, you're paying them for a service to pamper yourself. So you don't want to go in there and be, you know, like I said, butcher and cut and, you know, mess up, and because they won't come back, and you're wanting to make money, and if you do 15 minutes here, 30 minutes with her, and then while she's drying and your other lady comes in an hour, you're making $60, no, $30, but you got tips. So you need to ask yourself, what could you do other than graduating from MIT or whatever, that I can make, you know, anywhere from 100, well, let me back that, but anywhere from $50 to $100 an hour. And that's just not with nails, that's with hair and everything else, so,
She was telling the other group, sometimes she can make 800 a week. Where else can you do that?
yeah.
Make $800 legally.
And I mean, hairdressers make a lot more because they have, I mean, a lot more demands because of, you know, some people's hair's longer and of course they're gonna pay more, but, yeah, I mean,
And men,
yeah.
you know, I mean, men do get their nails done, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, you always need to understand, I mean, even if you, like my full set of nails are $50. So if I do that and you tip like you're supposed to, I mean, I could get 70 for just doing that service.
What, is this like personal if I ask like what's a good tip like?
Well, I mean, like when I do a manicure, I usually they usually leave me anywhere from $5 to $10.
Yeah, I leave my barber. I give him like $5.
Yeah. But if I do a 25 service, I usually get 35. You know, I mean, it'll be 35 altogether,
Oh,
so it'll be a
yeah,
$10 tip.
You need to get your money back for that long piece of hair. You know?
Yeah, my hair used to be.
He swear it was cute.
What you mean? My curls was like.
Ladies like them curls.
Yeah, they do.
Let's try this one more time. See if it wins. Oh, it comes out good now, sis.
This doesn't.
What does that feel like? Does that feel like?
It's just
Sand.
sand, grit.
Like, what's
Get
up
the
with the
dead
hand
skin off
scrub
your
stuff?
Oh.
Ma'am. Okay, what it does is, it moistens, and breaks down the skin to where it can absorb what you're doing what you're applying on it, and you want your nails, I mean, you want your client's hands to be soft when they leave, and the heat is one thing that will help it make it soft.
Especially feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, they don't do that. Like wrapping it around every nail place.
Well, this is how I learned, and I've been doing it since 1990, so,
Yeah. The more pampering you can do to them,
yeah.
you're gonna get them back in there.
The bigger tip.
Right. Just like if you go to the other nail salons, Vietnam,
Vietnamese.
or any of those, do you get anything from there when you go? But if you got somebody that does,
There goes my finger.
you know, real, you're gonna go back to back, not just whoever they get you in the chair with, right? You wanna be unique, I guess.
Yeah, you want them to
Different
come
from
back,
everybody
you want to do something for them to make them say, oh yeah, that's my off factor, I'm going back to her because she does this and the other ones don't, you know.
You went and got a massage and they did like this right here, or you went to somebody else and they really massaged you, who are you going back to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you-
Oh, it don't really on the price to me, I'm
No. Okay, so what you wanna do now is get a hot, you know, the towel out of the hot thing, they're really, really hot, so you have to be very careful, not scorch your
Hey,
car,
is that like a little-
burn them. Take that out, and then you wanna wipe all of the grit off.
How long you leave them in there?
Just until you get this one right here done, you know what I'm saying? You do this one, you put this one in the hot mint first, then you clean this one up with the cuticles, and then you As soon as you put this one in the hot mitt, then you take this one out and clean it. So it's not no time, it's just from one to the other. Ma'am?
Oh, she's just talking about like.
Yeah, I mean, the exfoliator stuff. And then you'll want to take the lotion. Which one did we decide, Cicely? It was the blue, I mean the white one, no?
White one is the coat, it's the, not the beach.
Okay, then you'll want to take the lotion, and you want to go up to her elbow and work her elbow, get some of that dead skin out.
See, I'm a pro at this.
And then you're gonna pull down on it.
Trish is a pro at that, that's the twin of these guys.
Wait, what is it?
He's a pro at this, that's the twin. He gave him the arm massage and he did it. Is he good at it?
He's great.
Come on, man. You're always my boss when you little.
So you know why it's important to do a massage?
Why is it important?
Tell her why, see if y'all remember.
Circulation.
Circulation and
What else does it make your nails do? It grows.
It makes them come back the same. Alright, like, yeah.
That's what I don't get all this. That's why I was telling you, don't do that for somebody getting acrylic, cause you don't really
No.
want their nails.
yeah, you would not put none of the oils or the lotions on the nails when you're doing acrylics because you have to rub up the oil off the nails, the natural nails, to make it stay. I mean, to make it, you know, bond. When this right here, you want to give it all, you know, all kind of nutrients and moisture to your hands. And this lotion ain't no good either.
That's the one we had last year, it wouldn't go in.
Okay, and after you get through massaging, you want to take and just wipe all the oil off of the nail bed.
That's important.
Because your polish will not stay.
Wipe the oil off afterwards. Polish will not stay.
Okay, and then you can look at this, and see if you need to like clip or flick or anything like that. It's like I had like a little cuticle right there, so I'm just gonna.
Remember, y'all make sure y'all flat it down before y'all grab it and just rip it. Remember last year they were ripping cuticles rather than.
No.
They would pull before they had it cut, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and just have to, I mean, it took me a little while, but I mean, once you do it over and over again, you'll get comfortable and know, but just don't go in it thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, just barely clip. It's like a trim. It's like trimming your hair, just barely, so if you need to, like I said, if you need to clean it out, or flick, or flake, or whatever, so like that with some lotion. And then we'll go and get another towel for this hand, because this hand is done. All we gotta do now is polish that. That one. No, it's up everywhere now. Did y'all see how clean our nail plates are? I know, let me move this thing out of the way. Alright, so now, the main thing about a manicure, they're coming in there for you to help them grow their natural nails. even though this is a base coat and a top coat, when you are doing a service for someone, you want to make sure that you just get the top coat, the bottom coat, base coat. That's really, that you can sell to them to where they can maintain their nail care at home. But this will do for right now, so. But you want something that's got, I'm sorry. This is Orly, like the one I use is Nail Teak, and I have it for sale, so when my client leaves, she'll, if she buys some, she'll take it home, and then, because a manicure with polish will last usually about 7 to 9 days, and if you send them out with a top coat and then put a coat on every night before they go to bed, it'll last longer. So by the time they get back, you want them to come back every 7 days to see you. So as long as they keep it up, their nails is getting fed what it needs to where they will grow and be longer and stronger. And that's what you want. You want them to keep coming back. So, yeah, this is the base coat. All right, when you're applying your base coat, 3 strokes on every fingernail: pinky, ring, bird, thumb. So you go to, you don't bog down the cuticle. You go right to the edge of the cuticle. You put your brush down and you stroke 1, and then to the side, and then to the side. She's picked green. And if you get out of line, just take your orange stick and just,
So that's the nail polish.
yeah. And your first coat is always going to be sheer, thin. You don't want to like glob it on where it'll never dry. But you want to make sure you get both edges, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to leave no bare nail. And then you want to cap it on the end. Okay, so this is kind of thin. Because this is something I'm gonna do one more coat, because it's like really transparent.
So like 2 or 3 coats
It
depending on
usually
the
it's just 2, but this is so thin, it's,
Is this the same procedure that you would do to get gel nails?
yeah, with the gels and stuff, you go up underneath the light, but it's after, once you apply one coat, then you put underneath the light, and then you do the, it's the same, but, with the nail polish, you don't have to do the light.
I just told her that. She would change it.
You need a light for all this, or is it just like optional?
No, the gels, you use the light, this is just a basic,
What is it like using?
the light with the gel cures it, it makes it hard.
So it makes the gel nail last longer.
Yeah.
Gel nails don't really clip as bad as regular nails.
No, they last longer, because of the light and everything, but you have to really be careful on what type of, when they say gel, make sure that it's not like the really, really hard, destructive type that you have to drill off with a drill, because that's, you don't want to do that with your nails, because it will damage them and have them, humped and bumped and crevices and all that.
Gel nails don't like draw without sliders, because last time I painted my nails with some gel polish, like it would never dry, it stayed wet, probably the other way.
Yeah, it has to cure with the light, it has to have that UV light in order for it to dry. Okay, then after you get through doing the nail polish itself, then you'll want to go and put the top coat on.
And how much is a fill-in?
A fill-in with me starts at $25.
That's what I needed, right?
Okay, once you apply the last coat, what you want to do is you want to put her underneath a little blow dryer for about 5-10 minutes. And while she's under there, well, let me back up. Because you didn't pay, before you polish, you need to make sure that you asked for the money, because you don't wanna go through their purse, and you wouldn't want me to go through your purse. So you need to get your money and get their keys out before you polish, and then once you polish, you put them under the dryer. And then from that, you say, okay, manicures usually last once a week. Do you want me to put you down for next week at the same time, or what time would be good for you? You always wanna get them, before they leave, you wanna get them on your book. Because the next week, you know, you wanna be full to where you still make that kind of money. So if it's acrylics, they're every 2 weeks. If it's manicures, it's every week. If it's pedicures, you know, some people do it twice a month, some just do it one time a month. So, but you always want to make sure that they're on your book before they walk out that door. Very, very important, because you want to make some money.
Plus, they're gonna regret it if they don't, because it's hard to get an appointment. Especially with somebody as busy as she is. You're not gonna call today and say, hey, I need a pedicure tomorrow. Anyhow. I mean, you may be 2-3 weeks out, so, which is good, 'cause that means she's making the money, right? So you wanna get on that book before you leave, is what she's saying, so you have a spot reserved.
And it really don't matter if you choose, because like I said, you know, this area is so large. I mean, you could go to makeup, you know, to massage, to nails, to hair, facials, you know, whatever. So whatever your passion is, you need to, or if you wanna be like Cecily and just do it all, I mean, you just really need to focus on one thing that you really like to do and excel with that, and, you know, because it makes a good living, regardless which one it is. But I like the manicures, because you're real close, you know, and I mean, that's as close as you're gonna get. And I am a touchy, you know, you're like a bartender, I guess, without the alcohol. You're there, and, you know, you're so close with each other, and you do bond, you do.
That's what I told them, you're their counselor,
Yeah.
you're their psychiatrist, everything else.
So you do nails at Cut Above?
Yeah, they got me in the hoe. I'm just back there with, I'm back there with the esthetician and the massage lady.
Do you know Cherie?
Yes.
Do you know, Angie and Chrissy? They don't work there anymore.
Yes, I love Angie and
That's
Chrissy.
my mom's best friend.
I love them.
Where's this located?
Across from the Tabernacle.
It's next to
Walgreens.
the vape place.
Oh, over there.
You've gotta be specific on the vape place, there's
Yeah.
specific,
No, like, it's called Prestige Vapor.
Yeah.
It's not Walgreens.
Yeah, it's right beside Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But y'all, I mean, the only thing that I can really, really stress is that you need to make sure, just like with your implements, with your hair, I mean, you've got to make sure that you know, handle your implements the correct way, because, I mean, if State Board was to come in and check you, and they're not by their guidelines, I mean, you're gonna get fined, regardless if it's hair or whatever. But like I was saying, you know, when you get through using an implement, I usually wait till after my client is drying, and then I get up and I, you know, get rid of my towels, I spray my table, I wash with soap and water, and take a brush if you want to, and just scrub everything that I used on you, and then, I rinse it off, and then I put it in here and let it stay for about 15 minutes. And then I get it out, and I lay it on a towel and let it air dry. And then I put it in here. You don't wanna put nothing in this box right here, that's not been cleaned. Because when your client sits down, she's gonna know that when it says sterile, then she's gonna know that this right here is ready for her. That it ain't touched nobody else's hands or whatever. And if you do use an emery board, you can offer them to let you say, or let them buy one, and, you know, I usually just take some alcohol or, dip it in the barbicide and just dip it, you know, cause I mean, it does get expensive. But as long as and I have about 5 or 6, so I let it air out But I mean, as long as it don't bring blood or anything, you know, I clean it off and stuff. I mean, you just really need to make sure that you focus on keeping everything clean and wiped off and sterilized to the best of your ability. Because I mean, you wouldn't want to go in to someone that, you know, just like messy or.
Yeah. And that goes back to our trays. Yesterday, I'm back there with 4 o'clock. It's the same thing. When the brushes have hair matted up in, not matted, but clogged up in them, that's a fine when state board comes in here. A fine. I'm talking a $200 fine. Okay? So every time y'all get ready to turn those back, make sure you clean that brush out. Okay? But you can go back there right now, and I mean, I don't even go because I know I'm gonna cringe. But so tomorrow, or when we come back in here, I'm gonna everybody clean those out too. But yeah, y'all can pass germs doing stuff we do in here, bad, big time. That's what makes Dr. Saban so nervous about this class. And we're waxing, the wax being too hot and burning somebody. I mean, we can cause damage in this room.
Yes.
Funguses, we can cause that. We're not sanitizing your stuff really good. We can spread, heck, if y'all use brushes on yourself and stuff, I mean, you could spread lice, you could spread, if you're bleeding your scalp, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? You've got to be clean.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said that.
Well, I'm just saying, things can spread
Yeah, things
easily
can
in this
spread.
classroom.
And that's like I was saying, even though, and they haven't done the pedicures, right?
No.
Okay. By state board, when you do a pedicure, you're not supposed to do anybody that has shaved their legs that day. Because, you know, when you shave, and you know, of course it's gonna bleed, and then it starts turning that orangey yellow, you know, trying to make a scab. If you go and you set your feet down in a whirlpool, like at an Oriental place, if they don't sanitize and clean it like it's supposed to, that is against state board, because if they stick their feet in there and that scab is trying to heal and it gets moist and it flakes away and it goes into those pipes because it's bubbling, you know, like a whirlpool, and then if the next person comes in and that scab or whatever it's called, I forget what you call it, if it's stuck and it vibrates off, and just say that you cut your leg shaving, if it hooks to that, you're spreading germs. So it is so important with these right here, because this is what I use. You don't have to worry about the pipes and all that stuff, because as soon as you get through cleaning it, you just throw some pure bleach in there and, you know, wipe it out and let it sit there and then rinse it. You're ready to go, because there's no pipes. There's no hose that it can flotate, you know, go through. So just really be aware when you do go to those Orientals. When you sit in one of those chairs, they should have already been down for an hour. That chair should not have been worked on or worked in an hour, because as soon as the water drains out, they need to pump this stuff in for 30 minutes, and then they let it out and it needs to dry for 30. You just and they're in there like cattle, you know. It's like, come on, just hop on in here, you know. It's just, you can't do that. If state board saw that, they would fine them big time, because that is one way that you can, and that's just like with your implements, you know. The other day, as a matter of fact, I had this one lady come in. I didn't realize how sick she was, and I went in and I threw everything away. I threw away my tub, I threw away, you know, my implements. I had to order new brushes, everything, because I did not want to, you know, jeopardize the next client, because I don't want nobody to blame me for having a disease, you know. Yeah, or anything like that. So just, you know, just really, that's my biggest thing, you know, is be proud of what you can do, and do a good enough job that when somebody sees, they'll say, oh God, you know, your nails look good, who did that, you know, who done it, you know, you want, hey, you know, Kim did, at cut above or whatever. So I mean, you're always gonna, I guess, well, what did you say a while ago? You said it the best, what was he talking about?
In this class or last class?
Last class. So much your money. So we in A, we're tired now. Is there any other questions?
Everybody think they got it and everything?
Can I get a discount if I show up?
Will you give me a discount on something that you do? Don't ever sell yourself short,
Okay.
And
cause your time is money.
Yeah.
to family members, they'll use you up.
They will.
You have a whole day full of family and you leave with nothing in your wallet.
Nothing.
Mm. She's right, your time's valuable.
No.
You gotta make a living, pay them bills.
There go that phone again.
Alright, anybody, any more questions? Everybody good?
They're pretty.
I know, I got you, and I go 5.
Oh, it's 1:34.
Oh my lord. Gotta be digital for you.
Yeah, the shorthand.
Y'all can't read cursive?
I'm gonna just
Oh,
play.
no, I can't.
I can read it.
Alright, so what I need you to do is your notes that you took, make sure your name's on it, put it in that blue basket up there. That's a grade, so I hope everybody did it. Alright, there should be a stapler over it. We'll get you a copy. Everybody thank Kim for coming.
Thank y'all. Y'all come see me.
She'll be back next year when y'all do acrylic.
Are we doing acrylic? Like next month?
I know, it'll be this time next year. 30th.
I got old.
Alright, so, we're gonna go back to the classroom. If you know your partner that you're gonna use for manicuring, I need you to go to the whiteboard and just write y'all's two names together. Right under each other, okay?
Wow.